Yo, what's going on guys? Kieran Can't Yo-Yo here, back in another tutorial. In today's tutorial, I have a super cool meta tower combo for you. Here's what it looks like from my perspective. Ooh. And a super cool green triangle to finish. A couple things for you into this video. I'm going to be using the Deviant Plus for this tutorial. And this tutorial is obviously sponsored by Yoyo UK. So you can head on over there and use code Kieran5 for 5% off at checkout. Anyway, let's get right into this tutorial. So before I actually teach you the tower, I'm going to teach you a little inner to the mount. And that works like this. So you're going to start off by rolling into your 1.5 and then doubling on. Right, super simple so far, nothing too complex. Once you've doubled on, you're then going to drop this string around your hand, like so. But the key thing is you want to keep the double on the string, so you don't want anything to reject. You want there to be 2 strings around your index finger and then this wrap. And then from there you're going to undercut like so. And then as you undercut, roll out of the 1.5 and then roll over whilst pinching with your index finger, right? Altogether that should look something like this, right? And then as you're rolling over your index finger like so, you're actually going to roll all the way over to your non-throw hand index finger and roll into that, sort of creating this hook thing once you drop your index finger. I feel like this is just more of like a cool flashy mount that isn't really that hard to do, right? One thing is, as it's going over, you're also going to want to catch this string with your thumb. It's kind of important for the next element. From here, you are pinching with these 2 fingers, like so, and then rolling on over these 2 strings, right? I don't really know how to explain it, but basically the yo-yo and the slack is going over, and then you're pulling it apart with your thumb. See the slack? You're pulling that slack apart with your thumb. From there, you're going to roll the yo out and onto that front string, like so. But you're not going to want to get your hand, like any strings involved. So it's just douche, douche. So you should be in like a cross-armed Houdini mount at this point. Cross Houdini mount. You're actually going to unroll off and uncross your arms like so. And then pinch with your index finger and middle finger. And then you're going to throw this slack over and round so that you land in a negative 1.0 hook. I know that sounds really complicated, but it's actually not that hard. Basically, all that's happening is that you're trying to land the yo-yo on this string here and have this string come around the back, like so. Okay, now you're in this 1.0, I can finally teach you the tower. So you're going to reject off, and then as the yo-yo's out here, you're going to try and hop it onto this string here, the middle one out of these 3, like so, and that forms the tower. Now, this is a really hard tower, and I know Yo-Yo Joe has an in-depth tutorial on how to do it. I'll link that tutorial in the description, but I'll gloss over it for now, because the main thing that you're here for is what happens after the tower, I would assume. So you've done your tower, right? And from here, you're going to pinch the top of the tower, and then roll like this, a suicide, right? And as you're rolling the suicide, you should notice there's a big loop in the yo-yo, right? Like there's this big loop, and you're going to catch that with either your index finger or your whole throw hand. It doesn't really matter which. Catching with your whole throw hand, because then you can spread this slack, or not slack, the string out for the next hop, which is going to be letting go of your index finger and then dropping these strings onto your throw hand or non-throw hand index finger. I know that sounds really hard, but to be honest, trying to get it in full speed isn't even that bad, because as long as you do like a little skip up, right? So you see when I do it, there's like a little skip up and then I put my index finger in. It sort of makes it a hell of a lot easier. But yeah, and then we've gone boom, opened it up, and then bang. And from here, we're going to unroll whilst doing a little underslack, kind of like whipping into a reverse kamikaze. And this should land you in a mount that's almost like a sub-mount, but with your hands, like a reverse sub-mount, but with your hands crossed. A lot of you should probably recognise this. And all we're doing from here is pinching with our index finger and thumb, and throwing this slack all the way around the yo-yo, like so. I know that sounds really hard and confusing, but to be honest, this is super easy. So from here, you're pinching, and then you're throwing the slack, and as long as you give it just like a little bit of momentum, it should just go all the way over. You see how this slack goes? So the slack's going to go round this half, and then it's going to come in the back, like so. And then from there, what I like to do is you can just unroll into a green triangle, but what I like to do to just make it look a bit nicer, I think, is roll forwards first, so you've underpassed into a green triangle, then rolled back onto that top string and unrolled like so. And it's just a nice little rolling element to just sort of spice up the trick a bit. But yeah, that is the whole trick. So I'll go over it one more time for you. You can go double onto your 1.5 mount, drop that, underpass, roll out, roll round, drop your index finger, catch your thumb, pinch and slack over, thumb, hop, and then, 1.0 hook, and then you got your tower, slack, split open, second slack, underpass, and then roll the slack round, and then boosh, boosh, pop out the front and bind. And yeah, that's the tutorial. Hope you enjoyed. If you've got any comments or questions, let me know down below. Otherwise, yeah, like, comment and all that nonsense, and peace.